Get ready, because the gap between Israel's F-35I Adir and the Su-35 is much bigger than most people think. One aircraft is built around silent technology and smart systems, while the other depends on classic speed and power. Today, you'll see why this difference is becoming impossible to ignore. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring why Israel's F-35I Adir is often described as a generation ahead of the Su-35 in several technical areas. Both aircraft come from completely different design backgrounds, and that's what makes this comparison interesting. Israel's F-35I is built around advanced data systems, sensor fusion, and quiet operational features that let the pilot understand the environment without relying on traditional visibility. The Su-35 focuses on strong engines, long range, and powerful onboard sensors, giving it excellent performance in open air conditions. These two paths create two very different aircraft personalities. The Adir is all about information advantage, while the Su-35 is about physical capability. In this section, we'll set the foundation for the rest of the script by explaining how each country approaches technology development. Israel emphasizes digital upgrades and integration with high-tech local systems. Russia emphasizes mechanical strength, durability, and range. Understanding this contrast helps make the rest of the comparison clearer. By the end of this script, you'll see how the Adir's software focused design gives it a consistent edge in modern aviation environments where awareness, communication, and information control matter more than raw speed. One of the biggest reasons the F-35I Adir stands out is its sensor fusion system. This feature collects information from multiple sensors and combines it into a single, clean display for the pilot. Instead of switching between screens or interpreting separate readings, the pilot sees a complete picture already processed by the aircraft. This reduces workload and improves reaction time. The Su-35 has strong sensors too, especially its advanced radar with long detection range. However, it still requires the pilot to manually interpret different readings and manage multiple systems at once. This creates more pressure in complex environments. The F-35I's ability to merge radar, infrared, electronic signals, and other inputs gives it a major advantage in understanding what is happening around it. This makes the Adir especially effective in situations where quick decisions matter. Even though the Su-35 has impressive detection power, the Adir's process data approach often results in better clarity. The difference isn't just in how far each plane sees, but in how easily the pilot can act on what they see. This section highlights one core reason technology-focused aircraft like the Adir are shaping how modern aviation is evolving. Another area where the F-35I Adir separates itself from the Su-35 is its quiet operational design. The Adir is built to limit how easily it can be tracked by sensors. This doesn't make it invisible, but it makes detection much more difficult, especially from long distances. The Su-35 relies on strong visibility tools, meaning it is built to find others rather than hide itself. This creates an interesting contrast. One aircraft tries to avoid being noticed, and the other depends on noticing everything around it. The Adir's design helps it operate closer to its goals without drawing attention. The Su-35's large airframe and powerful engines make it easier to detect on many systems. This section isn't about which is better, but about how each aircraft's philosophy works. The Adir's quiet design gives it more flexibility, allowing the pilot to decide when and how to appear. The Su-35 must rely on speed, altitude, and maneuvering to reduce risk. In modern technology-focused environments, being harder to detect offers clear advantages because it provides more time to respond, position, and complete objectives efficiently. The cockpit experience is another major difference between the F-35I and the Su-35. The Adir's cockpit is fully digital with a large central touch display, streamlined controls, and a helmet system that gives the pilot critical information directly inside the visor. This removes clutter and reduces the need to look down at panels. The helmet even allows the pilot to see a visual map of the surroundings, almost like having a transparent aircraft. The Su-35 cockpit mixes digital screens with more traditional controls. It is modern, but it still requires the pilot to manage more switches and manually combine information. This can create more workload during complex missions. The F-35I cockpit feels more like a smart device interface, letting the pilot operate with fewer distractions. This helps maintain focus and reduces fatigue. The simplicity also supports the Adir's data systems, making information delivery faster and clearer. The Su-35's cockpit is functional and familiar for pilots used to conventional layouts, but it doesn't provide the same level of integrated experience. As aviation continues to move toward digital-first designs, the Adir's cockpit reflects how future aircraft will likely operate. One of the strongest advantages of the F-35I Adir is its connectivity. The aircraft can link with other platforms, share live information, and receive updates in real time. This creates a network where multiple systems work together. Israel has customized the Adir even further, adding local communication tools and data processing upgrades. This lets the F-35I interact smoothly with ground systems, intelligence platforms, and other aircraft in Israel's environment. The Su-35 also has communication tools, but its integration level is not as advanced. It mainly operates independently and does not rely as heavily on network coordination. While this independence can be useful in some scenarios, it limits how much information it can exchange. The Adir's connectivity gives pilots a strong advantage in awareness because decisions can rely on updated information from many sources, not just the aircraft itself. In modern technology-based aviation, this network-centered approach is becoming increasingly important. Aircraft that can think together have clear benefits over those that must manage everything internally. The F-35I's ability to update, share, and receive data is one of the main reasons it maintains an edge. Another key difference is the F-35I's upgrade flexibility. Israel receives special permission to install local systems, software, and custom electronic features inside its Adir fleet. This means the aircraft can evolve quickly as new technology emerges. These upgrades don't require major redesigns and can be added through software adjustments. The Su-35 also receives updates, but the process is slower and less customizable. Its design is more traditional, meaning large changes often require physical modifications. Israel takes advantage of this flexibility by regularly improving its F-35I fleet with new tools, sensors, and digital features that match local needs. This adaptability is a major reason the Adir stays ahead. Instead of waiting for global upgrades, Israel can implement its own solutions. This approach allows the aircraft to improve continuously without needing entirely new models. In today's aviation world, software matters as much as hardware. Systems that allow easy upgrades maintain long-lasting relevance. The Adir's flexible structure ensures it remains compatible with future technologies in a smooth and efficient way. The engines of both aircraft show another interesting contrast. The Su-35 uses strong thrust vectoring engines that provide excellent agility, letting the aircraft perform sharp turns and impressive maneuvers. This makes it physically very capable and visually dramatic. The F-35I's engine focuses more on stability, reliability, and consistent power rather than extreme maneuvers. While it doesn't match the Su-35 in raw acrobatics, it delivers strong overall performance with smoother handling. The Adir doesn't rely on tight turns to gain advantage. Instead, its sensors and awareness systems help position it correctly from the start. The Su-35's engine design fits its traditional approach, powerful, reactive, and built for performance. The Adir's engine reflects its digital design philosophy, steady, controlled, and integrated with onboard systems. Both aircraft have impressive power, but they use it differently. The Su-35 emphasizes physical skill, while the Adir emphasizes strategic placement and awareness. This section highlights how engine style supports each aircraft's overall role. Another factor to consider is maintenance and support. The F-35I uses a modern digital support system that tracks aircraft health, predicts maintenance needs, and simplifies repairs. This reduces downtime and ensures the aircraft stays ready more often. The Su-35 uses a more traditional maintenance structure, which requires more manual inspection and physical checks. It is durable, but it needs more time on the ground between flights. Israel also benefits from strong local industry that supports the Adir with customized parts and upgrades. This makes maintenance faster and more efficient. The Su-35's maintenance system works well for large air forces that operate many aircraft, but it does not match the optimization found in the Adir's digital approach. Over time, this difference affects how often each aircraft is available for use. Modern systems that automate maintenance improve long-term performance, and the Adir's advanced support tools give it consistent readiness. This section shows how behind the scenes systems can impact overall effectiveness as much as the aircraft's features. Training systems play an important role in understanding the gap between the F-35I and the Su-35. The Adir comes with advanced simulation tools that closely match real flight conditions. Pilots train in virtual environments that use actual aircraft data, letting them practice complex situations safely and repeatedly. The Su-35 also has training tools, but its simulation environment is not as deeply integrated with the aircraft's digital systems. This means training relies more on physical flights and separate simulation programs. The F-35I experience blends real flight with digital training, giving pilots more preparation before stepping into actual conditions. This reduces risk and increases confidence. Israel adds its own simulation upgrades, improving realism even further. Training quality has a major impact on performance because it prepares pilots to use the aircraft's full capabilities. The Adir's training system allows pilots to master advanced tools earlier and more efficiently than traditional methods. This is another area where modern technology creates a long-term advantage. Finally, we can look at how both aircraft fit into the future of aviation. The F-35I Adir represents a shift toward intelligent, software-driven aircraft that rely on information more than physical performance. Its design supports constant upgrades, broad connectivity, and quiet operational features that match modern needs. The Su-35 represents the peak of traditional aviation strength, built around speed, power, and strong onboard systems. Both aircraft serve different roles, but the future is leaning toward platforms that evolve digitally and work as part of a network. This is where the Adir stands out. Its ability to integrate new tools, share data, and maintain awareness makes it well suited for the next generation of aviation challenges. The Su-35 remains powerful and capable, but it does not follow the same future-focused design path. This final section shows that the difference between the two aircraft is not about which is better, but about which one aligns more closely with where global aviation is heading. The F-35I's digital-first philosophy gives it an advantage that becomes more clear with time. If you enjoyed this comparison and want more clear, simple breakdowns of advanced aviation technology, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more informative content just like this.